Just waiting on to see if anyone comes in. If no one does, then I will just go ahead and give an update. Hey, Jalen, how are you? Hey, Chris. If y'all don't know, I'm blind. You'll see me looking up through the bifocals to read the chat. So I just really came on to do a real quick live stream because I have to go in a little bit to pick my boyfriend up from work and take him to do something for somebody. I don't know. But I wanted to fill in everyone about my back issues. So, anyway, if y'all are listening and you want to keep listening, hey, Pastor Jim, just going to fill everybody in on what I went and had done yesterday. I went to the pain clinic where I go and had a procedure done. We did a spinal stimulator trial, which is where they, hey JoJo, did a spinal stimulator trial where they take these two leads and they give you this medicine that makes you not care, and they give it to you orally. You have to put it under your tongue. And hey, Scotty, you put the medicine under your tongue, and they wait about 10 minutes or so, and they come back and they're like, "Are you feeling it?" And, yeah, a little bit, maybe. So after about 20 minutes, they come and get you, and they take you to the what they call the OR at the clinic, and get you in there and get you on your stomach, get you comfortable. Then they get started. They do like a local anesthetic just to numb your back up, and those shots kind of stung pretty good. But anyway, that wasn't that bad. Then I felt something. I don't know what I felt, unless it was where they actually was going to make that first incision. So he said, well, let me give you a little more. So they gave me some more. But what they do is they make an incision to put these leads in, and they thread the leads up in behind your spine, and they attach them to the nerves. So now these are not permanent to stay there, obviously, because this is a trial just to see if this is going to work. Because, it's a little bit of a bigger procedure to have done if you have it installed for permanent. So what they done was they went in and they attached those leads, and of course I believe I have two small incisions. Oh, thank you, Scotty. I don't feel very pretty today. I just kind of put my hair up and went on with the motions. So anyway, then they ask you before they start which side do you sleep on so that they can put the box on that hip that you don't sleep on as much. So I sleep on both sides, so I just told them go ahead and put it on my left because I tend to lay on my right side more. Which I laid on my left last night and it didn't bother me. It's not over so far that it bothered me. It's more kind of up on my upper side of my hip, So it didn't really bother me. But anyway, they attach those and then they tape your box on, and so you've got tape across your back this wide. And the guy told me, he said the tape's going to end up bothering you more than anything before it's all said and done, because you have to wear it until you go back, which is usually 5 to 10 days. So they took me back when they come and got me to take, or when they took me back to my original room. I was walking, of course, I was loopy-loo, and I looked like I was drunk. And now, mind you, they only gave me half of the sedation loopy medicine. So they got me back in my room. She, held on to me and got me back in there. So they put me up on the table, to lay down, and then, hey, Rebecca, I'm just kind of filling everybody in on my procedure from yesterday. They got me back in there and they laid me down on the table, and she said, okay, I'm going to go let them know that we're leaving. And this was part of the St. Jude's team that is part of this trial thing. So they left me in there and they left out of the room, and I don't know who they told, but they told somebody that they were leaving. They left me in that room for like an hour and a half or so. I don't know how long it was. Hey, Mud Pie Girl. And if y'all aren't familiar with each other's channels, go check each other out and give each other some love if you would like. Um, so anyway, they got me back in there and they left me, and I fell asleep, so I was clueless. My mother had took me, and she's sitting out there in the waiting room, wondering what in the world's going on. This is a 30-minute procedure, why in the world hadn't they come out with her? So, excuse me, guys. Yeah, I'm still kind of tired. But anyway, they one of the nurses finally came in that had went with me into the OR room, and she said, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I said, "I've just kind of been sleeping, I guess," because when I first woke up, I was like, "Where the heck am I at?" Hey, Jeanette. I'm just filling everybody in on my back procedure. I'm not going to be on too long. Hey, Marie. Um, I had been asleep all this time and just, didn't even realize I was going to sleep, because I was just laying there waiting on them to come get me and take me out to my mother to go home. So anyway, I slept for an hour and a half, and finally when I got out, I went outside. I come out in the lobby and there's hardly anybody in there, and I don't see my mother anywhere. I'm going like, okay, where'd she go? And I walked outside and she was on the phone with my oldest daughter, and I heard her say, "There she is. I thought I was going to have to come find you." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I went to sleep apparently, and they just let me sleep. I don't know." So anyway, it was an overall pleasant, as pleasant as it could be experience for getting shot in your back and having something attached to you. And by that time, I was probably sane enough, sober enough, whatever. Hey, Kenneth, to drive home. Kenneth, I'm just kind of filling everybody in on my back procedure from yesterday. And y'all talk amongst yourselves, get to know each other, give each other's channel some love. And Mud Pie Girl is actually from my area. We don't live too awful far apart. Anyway, so my mother, y'all, is not used to driving my car, first of all. My car has a little bit of power to it. Yes, it's a granny car. And it just looks like a granny car. Under the hood, it's not a granny car. Was what, about an hour, Mud Pie? Did I miss something? So anyway, and I kind of always get confused when I told my mother this too before we ever went into the clinic. I said, I kind of get confused going back home. I said, but when you go back, I said, you turn here. I said, don't take the first exit because it'll take you back. Oh, yeah, about an hour apart is how far we live. Probably. Maybe an hour, hour and a half. I can't exactly remember, but not that far. Um, so she turns and she goes, first of all, she spins tires getting out of the parking lot, y'all. My mother is 73, okay? She spins tires because she's not used to my car. And my accelerator is really touchy. And I was laughing at her. So we get on down and I say, well, there's where you need to turn. And she's like, no, you said don't take the first exit. I didn't mean that. Yeah, Jordan. She said, rocking me mops. And I called her race car. Oh, yeah, I call her race car granny. So anyway, we went on down a little. I said, just turn around and I'll take you back out the other way. So we come back and we went out the other way. It was a little bit longer around, but not really. So I'm laughing at her all the way home because she is flipping speeding. And I'm like, you're going to get a ticket if you don't slow down. Which now I can kind of sympathize with Neil because I know how he feels sitting in the passenger seat because he always thinks I'm going really fast and I'm not. And Kenneth, Jordan is my daughter. If you don't know, she's my youngest daughter. Um, anyway, I'm laughing at this woman all the way home because I'm just knowing she's gonna get a speeding ticket in my car. So anyway, we finally get home. Hey Sue, welcome. Just kind of filling everybody in on what happened yesterday with my back procedure, but now I'm talking about my mama driving me home, which was hilarious. So we get back to home into town, and I have to stop and pick up my antibiotic they had prescribed. So we get to the pharmacy, and I said, "Are you getting out?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, you gonna get back in that seat over there. You gonna get in the passenger seat. I'm driving the rest of the way home." She said, "You can have it," because she's not used to driving in this town or where we went because um, traffic's a lot busier here than it is back where we're from. And you can ask Jordan, like, traffic here is like, I don't know, it's crazy compared to back home. It's not really that bad to me because I've been here for a year and a half, but back home it's nothing. When I go home, I'm like, this ain't nothing. So anyway, we got home from the pharmacy, and of course she was ready to get back home because it's a 2.5 hour drive. Hey Christy, you almost slipped in on me. So she was ready to get home. Well, she come in for a few minutes to see her granddogs, and um, I'm still laughing at her. Still laughing at her. So now I'm worried about her driving, because I said, I used to call her race car granny all the time when she was younger. Because in her younger days, she's speeding in her own vehicles. She don't so much now, but like I said, she was driving in an unfamiliar place with an unfamiliar vehicle, and my car does have more power than her truck. So it was pretty comical. And she says to me on the way home, about almost all the way home, she says, "You should have videoed all of this." I said, "Yeah, I should have, and put it on YouTube." She said, "Oh my goodness." Oh yeah, Jeanette. It was hilarious. Actually, I probably could have driven myself home from the clinic. After sleeping for an hour and a half, I pretty much had slept the meds off because I did not go to sleep last night till probably midnight or after. So, yeah, I wasn't that tired after and sleepy, and I didn't feel loopy at all. Well, Christy, my mama's always been like that too, pretty much, until she got a little bit older. And she's not so bad about it now, but she's 73. But, and I mean, I won't say I really drive fast, but I'm always a little bit over the speed limit. Now, my girls, the one that's in here, Jordan, yeah, she be driving fast. I tell her all the time she gonna get a ticket. And then my middle daughter, she drives pretty swift. Your ice cream was fire. She got a chocolate sundae with strawberries in it. That just did not sound good to me. And then sends me a Snapchat with it. It looked good, but I was. Now I like chocolate covered strawberries, but I prefer white chocolate. So yes, you do, Jordan. Not really, but she doesn't drive as fast as my middle daughter. My middle daughter can get with it, but she doesn't. Neither one of them scare me. Now my oldest daughter, she stays pretty well within the speed zones, like myself. Maybe if 5 miles over, something like that. But she's usually pretty good. Well, hi, couponer from Brooklyn. How are you? Well, Jordan, knock on some wood for me, because same here. But I do try. I know, like, I know around here where I've learned where the cops sit at, where they're most likely to be sitting at, and I do know they will get you in certain areas. I mean, you just learn that. I can see that, Scotty. Somehow I just figure that. Don't get no heavy foot though over there with all that snow. Good Lord. I'm doing okay, couponer. I was just filling everybody in. I went and had a procedure on my back yesterday, and was just kind of filling everybody in on how that went. I was gonna do a video on it, just like and upload a video, but then I thought, well, shoot, I'll just go live, and I'll try not to keep it too long, so if people do want to watch it back, they can. And I do not upload my chat with my live streams, just so y'all know. You think you can smell a speed trap? Yeah. So how much do y'all have now, Scotty? Did you get any more after that last little bit you got? Um, and you know what I think stupid, y'all? This is totally changing the subject off of the back issues, but um, they will announce, like, and put in the newspapers and on the radios that, well, I hope that goes good, Jeanette. And I'm glad y'all don't have any more snow, Scotty. It's got to turn spring sometime. But what I was saying is they'll announce and put in the papers, on the radio, whatever, that they're going to set, like here in Tennessee, they'll put THP is going to set up a roadblock for checking for drunk drivers, or checking for driver's license, or checking for seat belts. Just why are you announcing this stuff? I don't get it. If you're going to be drinking, I mean, I know if you get to drinking enough, you're probably not going to realize where the crap you're at, and you shouldn't be driving, period. But hey, Jordan's class. Hey, kids. But I think that's so crazy that they announced that stuff. Jeanette, your snow gone? Because I might have missed a few comments somewhere there. Running my mouth. Hi, kids. Jordan is a daycare teacher. She has 3-year-olds, and she has 9 of them in her class. And so she's showing them her mama on or on her phone, I'm sure. Hey, Rudy, how are you? Glad you stopped by. I was just kind of filling everybody in. Jeanette, I am so over snow and winter time. I am ready for spring. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be on YouTube to prove it. I am not ready for no hot weather, y'all. I do not like hot. I am hot natured. I'm doing okay, Rudy. Thank you for asking. I am hot natured. Like, even in the wintertime, I can be hot natured, but my feet get so cold and they hurt already. So the cold is not a friendly thing for me anymore. I used to love wintertime. Okay, Jordan. I'll talk to you later tonight. Bye, kids. That's right, Jeanette. Roll on spring. If it stayed, say, 50 to 80 year round, I'd be perfectly happy. Even 45 to 80, I'd be perfectly happy. If it gets past 80, bye, Jordan. If it gets past 80, I'm hot. Well, really, I get hot before that, but, you know. So what's everyone been up to today? It's kind of gloomy looking here, and the last time I looked, it was only 37 stinking degrees. Let's see what it is now. Oh, we're up to 40. Probably not going to get much warmer either. Now, the wind was blowing earlier, so it was really cold. See, 40 degrees, y'all. Yesterday, it was stinking 65. Well, you can't really see it. Forty stinking degrees. Mud pie, I would love to know how to quilt. And Sue, I am right there with you, sister. Over 80, I'm about to burn up. Yeah, Christy, that's me right there. That's a good description. I don't tolerate the extreme temps in either direction, but the cold is painful. At least when it's hot, like my joints aren't aching as bad. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Scotty. So where are you in? Are you in Brooklyn, couponer? Yeah, Jeanette, it's getting later there. You're at work, Sue? -5, Scotty, or 5 degrees Celsius? I'm not good with that conversion either. I'd have to put it in my conversion thing on my phone. And I just do that now because I have so many people that use Celsius that I talk to. We use Fahrenheit here in the States, so. Sorry if y'all hear banging, and my dog is sitting right beside me, so she'll growl. 5 Celsius. Okay. So I'd have to see. I had to look that up to see what it even was because I am not good. Look, my son can tell you he can tell you the formula for the conversion right off the bat. Lulu, come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Huh? You want to say hi? Look. You want to say hi? Say hi, Lulu. Look. Tell everybody hi. Look, Lucy. Look. 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 There you are. There you are. Thomas, you want to come say hi? Huh? Thomas. Come up here. Come on. Let Thomas up here. Come on. Come on, Thomas. Oh, goodness. Come on. Thomas, you want to say hi? Huh? You want to say hi? You want to tell everybody hi? These are my wild childs right here. They wilder than any kid I ever owned. Oh, hush. I don't even know what she's barking at. Hush. Y'all, I am clueless. Lucy, stop it. I am clueless what in the world. Hey, Snowy. So, my black dog that I showed you first, my girl, that's Lucy, and my boy is Thomas, my little brown dog. He's a Pomchi, she's a Chiweenie, and they bark at everything. Thank you, Sue, for the conversion. I didn't have time to look it up. Lucy was wanting to get some attention over here. I know y'all can hear them. They're crazy. They probably think somebody's out there because I'm talking to them and telling them to say hi. Like I told them the day before my mama was coming that my mom was coming, and they started barking looking for her. So they're cray cray. And they hear banging and knocking from next door because we live in a duplex, and like our living room wall and kitchen wall is connected to their living room and kitchen wall, so their apartment just mirrors ours. And they bark all the time at them because they hear them banging doors and slamming cabinets and just whatever. And I'm like, y'all, you've been here for a year and a half. Why in the world are you still barking at those same stupid noises? And then we live across the street from a golf course, and the number 3 green is right across the street from me. So golfers are kind of up close and personal for them, especially if I have the front door open. And they will sit there and bark at them like, what? You've not seen any golfers before? You know, Christy, this Chiweenie dog right here, she is the boss. I'm telling you, she is the boss. And yes, little dogs have big attitudes. Oh, thank you, Tessie. Thank you so much, hon. I really appreciate that. I just kind of filled everybody in on what was going on. It went good. I'm pretty sore today, but it went good. And I've got to, I probably wrote it down somewhere, and I've got to look and see if I did, and if I didn't, I've got to call and find out when I go back. Usually, when you have this done, it's, I think I said earlier 5 to 10 days, but I think it's 7 to 10 days because normally they allow 48 to 72 hours for the soreness to kind of subside, and then that way you can kind of tell if your stimulator is working. So I'm pretty sore today, but not too bad. You know, I decided I would get up and come do the live stream. I waited till after Neil went back from lunch, and I thought I'll just jump on and do a quick live stream. I don't want to keep it too long in case somebody does want to watch it. Hey, Big Ease, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. So, you know, like I said, I don't want to keep it too awful long because I know people's attention span sometimes is not wonderful. So, I see I'm getting sore sitting here now and kind of stretching out. They did tell me not to um, pick up anything heavier than a gallon of milk, and not to be raising my hands over my head or stretching out to the side too far, stooping over. Um, I'm doing okay, Big E's. I'm just was filling in everybody about my back procedure yesterday. Um, that's just until I get the temporary leads took out because they got like one or two small stitches in there and they're taped in, so they could easily be pulled away from where they're at, and then, they're not going to do any good, and I'm going to think the thing don't work. And I had that happen one time. I had an epidural when I was having my middle daughter, which was my second child. They put an epidural in, and then back in that day, I say that like that was 100 years ago, and it wasn't, but it was before the day of birthing and, laboring and birthing all in the same room. And so they moved me from labor, from labor over to the delivery area. And when they did, my epidural catheter moved, and I really didn't get any effects of it. So it was a natural birth, basically. Plus, they were kind of late getting it in because it was a really small hospital, and they only had one anesthesiologist there, I think, and he was in surgery when I actually should have gotten it because I labored with her pretty fast. So it's all good though. And I really honestly think that's where my back troubles started, was from that epidural, because when they first tried to put that epidural in, I was trying to think how old Jennifer is, but she's not quite. I was trying to think. She's 28. She'll be 29, I think. Yeah, Scotty. It is agony, but it's one that's worth every pain that I had. I had, I mean, with my first one, I had she's 32, so I had a spinal tap done with her. Now, that's the stupidest thing ever. They'd give you that thing 20 minutes before you're about to pop the kid out, and then they got to deliver it because they done numbed you up and you can't feel nothing. So you can't push. So that's stupid. Yeah, Christy, I really think so, because when they were doing it, when they first put it in, the first time they tried to insert it, I could feel like a tingling sensation down my left side. Well, guess what? My left side is my worst side to this day. Yeah, Scotty, lots of women say that. Only be one child if men had to give birth. I'd hate to see it if a man had to give birth out of what they've got to give birth with. It just wouldn't work too well. But I had a spinal with my oldest daughter, and then my middle one, like I said, I had that epidural, but then it got yeah, that spinal was not pleasant either, but I don't remember having any problem with it, or hurting afterwards. Now after that epidural, that's another whole story. Um but the epidural the catheter got moved, so I didn't get any benefit of it, so I pretty much in essence had a natural birth. And then with the last two, I said forget it. You're not putting another epidural in my back. It ain't happening. I'll have a natural birth. I didn't even have an IV. Like, no. If you want to put an IV in me, if it's an emergency, have at it. Until then, no. So, with Jordan, the one that was in here earlier, my last girl, I was in labor with her the longest. Well, the longest of painful labor, I should say. She got hung on my tailbone. Hey, hippie Mandy! Thank you, darling. And if all of you will smash that like button as well, I would appreciate it. Give me some love. So Jordan got hung on my tailbone during the laboring process, and we had to, they had me to get up on my hands and knees, and they would push on my back every time in that area. They would push. I love you too, Mandy, very, very much, and appreciate you. But they would push on my back, which moved her off of my tailbone. And then after that, it wasn't no time. She was born. So I didn't have any difficult labors. I didn't have any problems with my pregnancy. So lucky. So never even got sick to my stomach. You know, most women, they have morning sickness or all day sickness or whatever. Scotty, you is a pain, huh? Yeah, we try to remind our kids, I was in labor with you so and so hours. But I don't say that because my first one, you know, I was 16 when I was pregnant with my first daughter and when I gave birth. So I had no clue what to expect or what was happening. I don't know how we got on the subject, but anyway, um, I didn't know what to expect. So I really didn't know when I was in labor. And I had actually went to the doctor. Now, my daughter was not due until August the 3rd, I think. And I had been to the doctor for my checkup that morning. My aunt had took me. And we had went to Walmart, walked around Walmart a little bit, come back home, and my ex-husband, he would always call and check on me at lunch, and my mom would always call at lunchtime and check on me. And I was like, I'm hurting a little bit, but it ain't nothing bad, I just figured it's because, hey, I'm 3 weeks from having a baby. And, my body at 16, it just went stretched out because I was just a toothpick. And so I didn't really think anything about it. Well, later that afternoon, um, I had to go potty and I seen blood. So I didn't get excited. It wasn't much. So I called the doctor, and I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. And they're like, well, just go on to the hospital and get checked out. Y'all, I thought my ex-husband gonna give me a heart attack. People's driving is scaring me today, ain't it? But I thought he was gonna give me a heart attack because we got behind. Now, like I said, y'all, this is 32 years ago. We got behind this, like a Bob truck type big truck. It wasn't an 18-wheeler big truck, but it was a good sized truck. And at this time, there were very few 4-lane roads. Most everything was 2 lanes. And we got behind that truck, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack with him trying to get around it to get me to the hospital. I'm like, just calm down. It's okay. We'll be all right. So when we finally got there and they got me checked out, oh, excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. I was 8 centimeters. 8. And that was like 5 o'clock. And she was born at 7:56. So, yeah, I had labored all day and didn't even really know it. So, thumbs up for me. Yeah, I was happy. And my second one, super fast. Hey, Miss Hopkins, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Thank you for coming in and listening. Glad to have you. My second one, she didn't want to come into the world. She thought it was nice and cozy in there and she'd just stay for the year or something. I don't know. But they induced me with her and I had my first pain at like 8:30 or so. And she was born at 11:36, 3 hours later. Then I done told y'all Jordan was a long process, but it wasn't a bad labor though, other than her getting stuck on my tailbone. That really hurt. And then with Matt, he's the only one my water broke. And what was so funny is me and my ex-husband had just been talking, like, what are we gonna do with the other kids? Oh, that might have been Jordan. That was Jordan. What are we gonna do? My water broke with Jordan, not Matthew. Matthew was born 3 weeks early too, just like Chastity. Although I don't think Chastity was really 3 weeks early because we didn't have no idea when I got pregnant. Because like I said, I was 16, so you go in this little denial stage that you're not pregnant. And so we really, we just did a guesstimate on her, I think. So I really think she wasn't early. But now Matt was 3 weeks early because I ended up getting a UTI and going to the ER because I thought I was in labor and I had UTI. And they're like, well, we'd like to keep him in at least till 38 weeks. 37 weeks and 2 days, he was ready to come out, which was 2 days later after I found out about the UTI. Oh, doctor's appointments. I'm telling you, I'm about sick of doctor's appointments. It seems like every week I'm having to go to the doctor for some reason. Well, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. Like I said, I wanted to come on and not be on too long. Hey, Frugal Mom Holly. Hey, I've got your video running on TV right now. Sometimes I'll just load them up on TV and let them run, and then I'll go back and watch them later on my phone or the computer. And like I said, guys, if you're not familiar with each other's channels, go check each other out. If you like something there, hit them up, give them some love. You know, let's share the love. Us small YouTubers got to stick together. Really, Miss Hopkins, looks like Doogie Howser. Well, I'm super glad you're in here, Holly. Happy birthday to your son. I'm sure it's late today, but or is his birthday today? Because I've got the TV turned down so I can't hear. But anyway, guys, I'm kind of hurting from sitting here, so um, yeah, that's what I'd call him, Miss Hopkins. Dr. Doogie. Did you tell him that he looks like Doogie Howser? Always thought Doogie Howser was so cute. Well, tell him happy birthday, Holly. Yeah. Wow, y'all are like 2 hours ahead of us. Some of Canada's only an hour ahead, I know. But you're on up further into Canada, aren't you? Thanks, Holly. Thank you, Sue. But I am going to get off here because, like I said, I'm hurting just from sitting in this one position, really. And just kind of move around a little bit. And thank you, Christy. I'm getting there. It just takes a little time. Like I said, they say 48 to 72 hours for the soreness to kind of wear off. So, I'm just at 24 hours right now. So I think I'm feeling pretty good considering that I just had it done, that long 24 hours ago. So it's all good. But y'all all made me feel better just sitting here getting to talk to you a minute. Always enjoy my chats. But anyway, guys, make sure that you smash that like button on your way out. If you haven't already busted me up, loved me up, supported me, whatever, do so if you would like. Check each other out, give each other some love, and I will see you next time, guys. I love you. Bye.